and then we'll get it. So hopefully it's good. Okay, let me just see.
Is this it? Guess we just wait for people to come.
There we go. Yeah, you can keep. Yeah,
nice.
There we
All
go.
right. Yeah, there's a few people tuning in. More than just my mom.
More than just mom.
That's awesome. All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Derek, oh my gosh, the questions are flying in already. Derek, coconut water.
Okay,
how much fat
wait.
should we eat?
Before we start, let's get this going. Okay, let's see if we can bring this as close as possible. This is the song.
Oh yeah, you have to pull this out.
All right, there you go. Okay,
all
ready?
right, we got to make this official, guys. Bing, 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 bonk, bonk. We got Crystal doing all the technical stuff there. All right. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Sweet. So yeah, welcome. I thought this would be really fun to do a live Ask Me Monday since I've just been wandering around in the woods for the past like 6 weeks answering questions from you guys. So I thought it'd be fun to change it up and do something different. So I'm excited to answer a bunch of questions. The chat's going like so nuts already. So I'll definitely get to as many questions as I can. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This is really fun. Need motivation to go back vegan. Oh man. Remember why you did it in the first place. Watch the documentaries that got you there in the first place. You know, remember all the benefits that you felt when you first started it. Think of the animals. Think of the planet. Think of your health. All right. So Tony Gaeta, I'm a meat eater through and through. How do I approach a plant-based diet just starting off? Well, I would say that you should educate yourself for sure. Watching some documentaries like the big ones like Cowspiracy and What the Health, those sorts of things will really help. And then like watch people like me, myself, John Venus, Brian Turner, you know, other vegan YouTubers. So you get lots of ideas on what to eat. And then just start experimenting with having like a vegan meal here and there. You don't have to, you know, go completely 100% overnight if it's not going to work for you. Just like take your time. Find some good meals that you like. Find vegan tacos, oatmeal, you know, really satiating things that are easy to make, that you enjoy eating, and just start incorporating those and just have more and more. How's this sound, Crystal?
Oh yeah, I'm not even listening to this.
Okay.
I'm like the worst.
Hopefully you guys can hear me. Crystal's supposed to be telling me.
They would tell you if they couldn't hear
All right, cool. Cool. All right, I'll answer some more questions. Wow, they're going so fast. Okay.
Any plans for another ebook?
Any plans for another ebook? Yeah, we are actually planning on another ebook. We're working on it right now. I want it to be even better and more extensive with more ideas and more recipes for you guys. So yeah, we're going to incorporate all you guys into the creation of it though, because I'm going to have lots of questions for you guys on what you want to see and what recipes you liked from the last ebook and that sort of thing. So it should be really good. Thanks for asking. Maybe look for that towards next fall, I think is when we're hoping to get it out. This fall, sorry. Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right. So, Nick B. Hi, Derek. Can you comment on if there are any dangers of high manganese consumption? Ooh, why did I have to choose that question? I don't know the answer to that one. High manganese. I mean, it depends on how high and the type of it I get, like the source. I'm not too sure though. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that my manganese is really high a lot of the time, and I think our body pretty readily or easily gets rid of it. So I wouldn't worry too much unless you're like trying to take like OD on a manganese supplement. I wouldn't worry if you're just talking about it from plant foods. All right.
So some people are asking about soy.
Oh, okay. What's my take on soy? Yeah, well, yeah, I eat soy. I eat tofu. I eat tempeh. I eat soybeans. I eat edamame. And yeah, I don't buy soy milk just because I like almond milk and those other ones a bit better. But yeah, soy for men. Yeah, I don't worry about the estrogenic effects from it. If you guys look at the research and stuff, watch some nutrition facts videos on it. It doesn't have an effect on our testosterone or estrogen. And clearly, I have no trouble. I eat soy a few times a week, and I don't care. Call me a soy boy. I don't mind. Nutrition facts it, Derek. Yeah, exactly. Snapchat. No, I don't have Snapchat. I have so much trouble. Like, you guys have to understand, I'm like 34. I'm older than a lot of you guys. Like, I'm not used to all this social media. So for me, like, keeping it really simple, Instagram and YouTube is best for me. And then Facebook as well, where I get a lot of help from Crystal and the team that helped me make my ebook. They helped me with the Facebook stuff as well. But yeah, Snapchat, I wish, but I think, I'm better off just like focusing on just a few rather than spreading myself out too thin. Yeah. So Zachary Taylor asks a good question. How do you know if you're overtraining? I think that's a really good one. I think your body will start to tell you, and you'll start to get tired. I get that myself, where I'll just be hammering it for a few weeks, and I'll wonder like how I'm so strong, how I'm going so hard. And then a few weeks afterwards, I kind of realized that like I don't have as much energy. My body's telling me not to lift as much, not to go quite as hard. And I just listen to my body when those weeks come. And a lot of people call them like a deload week, or they'll have that like scheduled into their programming. But I just do it intuitively. And when my body says I'm tired, I listen. Yeah. Sir Simnett, would turmeric and flax in water be okay instead of a smoothie? It ruins my beautiful smoothies. Fair enough. Yeah. I never noticed the taste of it in my smoothies, but some people do get bothered by it. I would say that's fine to have it. Yeah, if you would rather just have the medicine all in one go.
I feel like it wouldn't taste that good.
Yeah, it wouldn't taste that good.
And make sure the flax seeds were ground, but it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, let us know how that goes.
Sorry, I'm scratching my nose so much, you guys. I actually just, too much information, but I just shaved my nostrils, and I don't know, like, it is so itchy. It feels like someone's tickling them.
He wanted to look his best.
Yeah, I shaved for you guys. I did everything. I'm trying to look my best. Okay. So how can I replace soy? In Argentina, it is difficult to get soy products, such as tofu. Have other beans and legumes instead. There's not much you can do as far as, like, like tofu that's not made of soy. I'm sure there's some sort of rare product out there, but it's not going to be common in Argentina. Getting some other beans and lentils, those other things will be fine for a good source of protein.
I said,
yeah.
There's a good question. Do we have a meal plan, or do we follow a meal plan? That's from Mango. Mango.
Hi, Derek. Okay, Crystal, do you guys have a meal plan or just prepare meals on the whim? Right. So we really just prepare meals on the go. We like cycle through, the main staples, different nights of the week. So we'll have we'll make a meal surrounding beans one night. We'll make a meal surrounding like rice or maybe quinoa the next night, bake some yams and potatoes on another night. And then of course, like a whole bunch of greens and raw veggies and some steamed veggies with it, maybe some sauces. So no, we don't follow a plan. We just eat kind of whatever we have, or whatever's going bad. Like, this is the quickest, whatever we have to eat.
First in, first out.
Yeah,
for sure.
But good question. But I know if you guys are looking for a plan, I don't do plans anymore. I used to do consulting where I would make plans for people, but I don't do that anymore. I do have my ebook, which has over 30 recipes that I consistently eat, which you could use as a loose plan. And I'm going to be coming out with another one. But John Venus does have some awesome plans if you guys want to work with him. I know that he's got some good stuff.
Wow.
So Crystal's going through the comments here trying to find some good questions.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we stopped.
Is anyone else in the family vegan? From Nicole Fordham. So in my family, my mom just started to eat plant-based. I wouldn't call her vegan because, she's out with the girls and she wants to have a Caesar salad. Occasionally she'll do that. But for the most part, 95%, maybe even more vegan. As far as Crystal's family goes, they're always trying to eat vegan. Crystal's mom and dad.
They're eating really well.
Yeah, but nobody that sort of is like us about it. However, her brother and her brother's girlfriend are sort of transitioning now too, because
eating really
and they're
more zero waste. That kind of thing. Yeah.
So, cool. We got a super chat. That's awesome. So you guys, you can do this thing called Super Chat where people donate a little bit of money and their question gets boosted to the top. So that's really good. This is my first ever live on YouTube. So just bear with me, guys. I'm going to do my best to get through all the questions. We'll be doing more. I know that it's not the best for some of you guys that are on like a certain side of the planet.
Europe,
yeah.
Australia, stuff like that.
So I'll try to do another one that would work better for that. So George Vallejo asks, have you ever noticed certain foods giving an academic boost for memory, concentration, or focus? That's really cool. Well, I know there's an herb out there called Gochu Kola, and it's really good for helping with that. There's a lot of herbs that claim they're beneficial for that. But I was taking that, consuming it when I was studying for my finals in school, and it seemed to help me increases blood flow to the brain. But an academic boost, no. I've also tried like rosemary oil. It's supposed to, it has a good affinity for like giving you good memory. But yeah, I don't know. As far as like cognitive boost goes, I just stay carved up and feel great. Thanks for the question though, and thanks for the super chat. So this one's from Timothy Purdy. Appreciate the question. You are an inspiration on many levels. Cool, man. I'm just doing my thing, but thank you. Following your dreams, being healthier, helping others. I love watching you grow. Just a nice comment. Thanks so much, man. That's really, really kind. I'm just doing my best to be a guiding light to some and be an inspiration to others, and hopefully a little bit of entertainment throughout that. Huge inspiration to me. Thanks for the content. Awesome. Cole Rose. Sweet. Thank you so much for the message. That's really kind. You guys are awesome. We do have like a really cool community that surrounds us, and they always say your vibe attracts your tribe, and I believe in that because everybody that seems to follow us is really positive and helpful. The comment section of my videos is just like, it's like a walk in a daisy field when you read it. All right.
We won't answer that, but just picked up gymnastics rings.
Oh, nice.
You get so jacked on those,
So Andrew, yeah, I just picked up some gymnastics rings. Can I get jacked working with just those? Heck yeah. Look at the gymnastics. Yuri Van Gelder, look at him. He's an amazing gymnast who's built an amazing physique, and he's and super strong. So yeah, you just have to keep progressing. Your body doesn't care what kind of stress you're putting on it. As long as you will build up muscles. And I think rings are really, really powerful because you engage so much of your body when you're using rings. I need to start doing that more. This summer is going to be the summer of the rings for me. Okay. So Simon, how do you? Whoa, S said YMON. Simon Quazala.
You could just say the first name.
Man, those letters are not together in English, but in your language they are. So I'm sorry I couldn't get it right. Where do you get your vitamin K2? So I don't get K2 from many sources, just from like my body converting vitamin K into K2. Our gut bacteria also produces some K2 and converts it as well. But you can get it from the natto, which is another sort of strange fermented soy product, and it's like really stringy. Looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, but that has a lot of K2, and some fermented like sauerkraut and kimchi and those sorts of things have K2 as well. But generally, if we have good gut bacteria and we have lots of vitamin K like we do on a vegan diet, then you should be fine. All right. Sweet super chat from Neil. Is there anything that helps with your sex drive? Yeah, this is a tough one. So different things work for different people. Maca can be really like quick, like working for a lot of people, and work to like increase their sex drive and libido. Eating more is a big one. I know a lot of people message me and they say, Derek, I went vegan not so long ago, but I've noticed that my libido's dropped. And generally it's because when I look at what they're eating, it's because they're eating less calories, because plant foods are so much less calorically dense that you have to eat more volume to get the same amount of calories. You have to maybe even eat higher fat foods so that you get enough calories in, because if you don't have enough calories, that's one thing that's going to drop is your libido. So making sure that you're getting enough zinc as well is a big one. So lots of like beans and pumpkin seeds and those kinds of things are really good. Hopefully that helps you out.
And more fats, eating more fats.
Yeah, and more fats.
A lot of people go vegan and they do like low fat.
Yep.
And it's not so good.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Yeah, so more fats in general as well. Hopefully that will help. And maybe you're going too hard. If you're smashing it too hard at the gym and you're tired and your adrenals are being drained and overburdened, then that might happen. So yeah, maybe take it a bit easy. But try the maca. That's an interesting one. Hey, Derek, I've been vegan 3 years. So this is from Adam Waddington. Hey, Derek, I've been vegan 3 years, but it's made me very underweight. My calories, macros, exercise didn't change, but I can't seem to gain. Any advice? Yeah, so there is a certain, I think they call it the like thermogenics of food, and it's like how some food does take more energy for us to break down, and fiber-rich foods tend to do that. So even though you might be getting the same amount of calories, the amount of energy that it takes to digest all that food might be higher. Maybe you are miscalculating it. I don't know, but you have to eat more calorie dense foods, more avocados, more nut butters, more nuts and seeds. I would try and stay away from like the oils and stuff, but if it's at a point where you like absolutely need calories and you're not getting enough in, then I guess you could go that way, but I would try to avoid it. Tahini's a really good one as well. Think about the really dense source of calories and get those in. And then eating more foods. You're just going to have to eat more. Yeah, sorry about that. I wish I had something better for you, something sort of magic, but thank you for the question and the super chat. What are your current thoughts on protein powder? After going whole foods plant-based for a year, I'm still reluctant to give it up, even though it's vegan, because I'm worried about losing gains. Yeah. So, it's a tough one. I know for a long time I didn't consume protein powder, and then I started to, and I continued to make muscle, and I was before, and now I continue to have it. And to answer your question, what my thoughts on it? If you can stay in a slight caloric surplus and your activity level is high and you're eating enough protein, I mean, there's no way that you need it for sure. But it can definitely help keep your protein intake high. And if you're trying to gain muscle, it definitely helps. Vegan diet tends to be a little bit low on protein compared to standard diet, I guess. But you just gotta get in the higher protein foods if you don't want to have the protein powder. I don't know what to tell you. It's definitely not a necessity, though. You don't need it. You can gain muscle without it. Yeah. Oh, and will you lose gains? Yeah, I don't know. I would go off it and see. I don't think that you notice too much. So we have a question from John Pascali. How should I start eating vegan, and how should I start calisthenics? Okay. Whoa, can you just read the same one? Because I have to answer it first. So how should you start eating vegan? So like I said to the first guy, find some people online that you like watching and watch what they eat, watch what I eat in a day, those sorts of things, and then try to adopt some of those meals into your diet and your lifestyle. And then find foods that you're used to making the meat versions of, like maybe like chicken fajitas, and then just make like a vegetable version of it. And instead of using chicken, use beans or use tofu or tempeh, those sorts of things. Don't worry about being perfect at first. Just try to get a few good meals under your belt and then just keep increasing it. And then how do you start calisthenics? Yeah, you got to just start. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, everyone, calisthenics by definition is just like body weight exercises. So like even just like body weight squats, walking is calisthenics by definition, so push-ups, those sorts of exercises, just start doing them in the morning. When you get up, get a little routine going. Say, I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 push-ups. I'm going to go and do pull-ups on my doorway pull-up bar. I'm going to try and do 3, after I've done that. Just get a little thing going, and then just keep increasing it a little bit every day. But working on your grip strength is really important. I always stress this, but hanging from the bar, if you have a pull-up bar nearby, definitely hang from it, because it will help to increase your grip strength, make a lot of things easier in calisthenics. Thanks for the super chat question. Okay. We've got one from Eric Sato. Tips on healthy skin, hair, teeth care. Any recommendations for natural soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, etc.? Keep up the good work, guys. Okay, did you just go to get it, Crystal?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing all of our stuff.
Crystal's just grabbing all our stuff from the bathroom.
Okay, what do we start with first?
Okay, so our products. So we have.
So we use this. First. We use that soap. So.
Yeah, this is the soap that we use. It's very similar to like Dr. Bronner's soap. It's just like a Canadian one. Good old Canadian company called the Green Beaver. Not sponsored. Looking for sponsors. And it's just a pure Castile soap. So that's what we use on my hair, my face, on my everywhere. And then the toothpaste that I use is just a
same
natural.
Company?
Yeah, it is. Same company. It's a natural toothpaste. I get one that doesn't Doesn't have fluoride. Do your own research on fluoride. I'm not here to tell you if you should have it or you shouldn't have it. But these are not tested on animals, and they're like an all-natural toothpaste. They don't have SLS in them. You want to avoid toothpaste that have sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS. Is that what it is, SLS?
Yeah.
And then for deodorant, this is one of my favorites. It's a little salt rock. You guys might see this in stores, and it is just basically salt. And after you get out of the shower, you just rub it on your armpits, and it stops the bacteria from growing. So it stops the problem before it starts. Derek.
We also have
I was gonna say salty Derek for 10% off. No,
we also have
no
this
discount
one.
code.
I don't find that this one works that well though. It's
Yeah,
a
we
natural
wanted to try
deodorant.
one with a little scent, and we tried this one. It's a little roll-on action, and yeah, I don't know. I haven't found many natural deodorants other than this that actually work all that well, any better than just showering every day. So that's generally what we use. And then on our skin, a few other
I
things.
use this.
Okay, Crystal uses sea buckthorn oil. Is it?
Yeah,
sea
sea
buckthorn.
buckthorn. That's the only thing.
Good
And
for your
then-
skin. And then I also use like aloe gel and occasionally like tea tree oil or jojoba oil as well. Yeah, we like those. Shea butter. Yeah, good question.
What's in
I
it?
think that's it. Thanks so much for the question. Did we miss any?
I think we missed one of them.
I missed the super chat. How do we get back to it?
I don't
Oh,
know.
shoot.
I don't know.
Oh no.
Aw.
Well, thanks for those. Were awesome. Good questions. So let's go down to the bottom. Let's just
What
Keep
toothpaste
going.
do you use? Okay, we'll just go to the bottom.
yeah, I guess we gotta just. Do you think it is easy to make a living through a little more? Sorry. So this is from Charlie Ciro. Do you think it is easy to make a living through the fitness industry if you're committed to it? Yeah, it depends. I don't really know. I kind of stumbled into this because, as a lot of you guys know, I started this YouTube channel to bring sort of awareness and some customers towards my nutrition consulting services that I was doing online at the time. And I also wanted to spread the message of like healthy eating and the vegan diet. And I also like making videos, so it worked really well. But then, yeah, this started to really, ramp up, and I kind of realized I should put most of my time into this. It depends on the platform. It depends on, if you have a niche and that sort of thing. If you're really, if you can find someone that no one else is doing, then yeah, I definitely think you can do it. You can do anything. So yeah, just try. So Timothy Purdy, another super chat from him. Thanks, man. Wow, I'm making progress, but I find myself pulling muscles, especially in my lower back and knees. Who should I go to for guidance for overall body maintenance? Wow. Well, one of my favorite guys online is Athlean X. He seems to be really knowledgeable and almost overly cautious when it comes to not putting your body in any compromising positions. But yeah, as far as like lower back and knees,
Physiotherapist?
yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, yeah, I would say someone like a physiotherapist for sure, like professional help. I'm lucky because I don't like strain my lower back very much, although I do have pretty weakened lower back from an injury when I was younger. I've just kept my core like extremely strong, and that's really helped. So maybe like focus on that as well. Don't do exercises that actually like hurt your lower back or aggravate it, like those like wheel outs and stuff, because I know that hurts mine. But as long as I keep everything like strong around my core, then my back pain is totally minimal. And then as far as knees, yeah, knees are a tough one. Okay. Oh, so Craig Sheldon asks, do you ever watch YouTube debates centered around veganism or too stressful?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so my channel, like I stay out of a lot of the sort of popular opinions and stuff that's happening because it's just not me. It's not really what I like to focus on, and other people are doing it better than me anyways, so I'm gonna stay away from it. But I do watch them. I love watching like a good vegan gains and some raw meat eating joker like battle it out. I like watching them. I don't watch the whole things because they're often like 2 or 3 hours, and it's like just end up banging my head against the wall at the end of it because like it's not going anywhere. But I do like listening to them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder if I should have a debate one time.
No, you're too. I would just be like, you'd be like, I can't do this.
No way. I'd be
You'd
like,
be like,
come at me,
entering.
bro. Kick your ass.
No.
Fight him.
Are you planning on getting a vegan tattoo?
Oh wow, Crystal would love me to get tattoos. She's always eyeing up the guys with tattoos in the gym. I see her, and I don't have any, and I'm not gonna get any. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, no.
That's
but
how it is.
You know, I don't know. I haven't felt passionate enough about anything, and for long enough that I wanted to get it tattooed on my body. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to. So we got a question from Evelyn Garcia. How do I go from beginner to advanced in calisthenics? Man, a lot of hours. Like, I'm definitely not advanced. I wouldn't say I would say like I'm intermediate. I don't have a lot of the really difficult moves. So it takes a long time to get to be from a beginner to an advanced. You have to consistently be training all the movements, you know, all the time, or else you lose them. Why are you laughing? Oh,
I know. Question? Yeah, there's just a really funny comment.
So yeah, you know, definitely make a plan and just like keep progressing and say like, I want to get this movement, you know, and say, I want to get front levers by the end of this summer, and just work on it, keep working on it. And then, you know, once you get those, or even at the same time, say, I'm going to practice, you know, handstand push-ups and try getting those, just keep making those little goals. And eventually you'll realize that like, holy crap, I can do like all these things. And all of a sudden it'll all start adding up. So, do you drink tap water, filtered, or bottled water? Right. So we have.
It's a little bit dirty.
We get a lot of water spots here. Our water is really hard. But I use this Santivia filter. Yeah, it's like similar to a Brita filter. However, it's smaller, and like the filter's smaller, so it takes out more particles, and it alkalizes the water, so it adds some. It remineralizes it with some minerals. So good question. Nick O'Brien, oh my, that's what you were laughing at? Why do my vegetables always talk to me after I smoke bath salts?
Like, oh.
Man, don't smoke bath salts. Keep it natural, guys. Any vegan or health-related podcasts you'd recommend? Ooh, I was just on one with the guy. Do you remember?
Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the link to it, though.
Shoot. Rich Roll is like one of my favorites.
We'll have to put it I don't even, yeah.
There's also like No Meat Athlete podcast. That's a fun one to listen to as well. And then there's the Vegan Bodybuilding podcast too. That's another good one. But Rich Roll is like ultimate. I could listen to that one all day, and I have.
Oh yeah. Best.
Alyssa, how do you feel about Cliff Bars? You know what? I feel like they always seem like a good idea, but I never feel very good after I eat them. That's what I think about Cliff Bars. I just wish they weren't so like heavy. There are those like the protein ones, and they're just like not great ingredients, but those are a little bit more tasty, I found. But yeah, I don't know. If you feel okay on them, go ahead. They always just sit like an absolute rock in my stomach. I much prefer the Lara bars, which are just like dates and nut butter. So we got a super chat from Zach Snap. What are your thoughts on drinking distilled water? Also, you've inspired my life. 2 years plant-based and 3 months into calisthenics. So cool. Guys, I get so many cool messages like that I've inspired people to start moving their body more, to get healthier. And that's exactly why I do this. It makes it so worth it. So thank you, Zach. My thoughts on distilled water. Yeah, this is kind of a new thing for when I was sort of getting into this scene, you know, back, almost 10 years ago now. It was all about the spring water, the alkaline water, and now it's all about the distilled water. And I don't know enough about it to comment on it. I know that what I've learned in my past is that it's good for times of like healing, but not for long term. However, there are a lot of people that I would consider quite educated that are drinking distilled water consistently. So I don't know. I do know that I just bought some to put in my radiator of my car, though, because you're supposed to use distilled water and not tap water, because you don't want those deposits inside your radiator. So anyways, yeah, so that's what I think. I don't know enough about it. I've seen that they sell those little distillers, and I'm interested in it, but you'll have to give me a bit more time to figure that one out. But I'm interested to know what you guys say, if you guys care to talk about it in the chat. All right. Sahara asks, it's a super chat. Any tips for iron absorption or reasons you may not be absorbing iron? Yeah, I do have some. I've been adding lemon juice and blackstrap molasses. Yeah, great. Blackstrap molasses. I'm glad that we brought that up because I wouldn't have thought about it. And that's a really good source of iron. Thank you for mentioning that. And also B vitamins as well. But the lemon juice, we know that when we add vitamin C, it helps iron to absorb. So you're doing really good things there. It could be, like, low stomach acid is a reason why some of those minerals might not be getting into your bloodstream, and some other digestive concerns as well. I'm not too sure, but it sounds like you're doing the right things, like really good. But another really, really good source of plant-based iron are curry leaves. And if you could find them, I've seen them in supplement form before, but you can get them in stores as well. I'm not sure how you would prepare them to cook them, but I know they're really high in highly absorbable iron. So there's another way you could do it. I hope you get those iron levels up. I'm sure there's something else that's linked to it, but I can't think right now. Cool. Line, my favorite vegan doctor. Ooh, that's a tough one. It's hard because I really like, Dr. Greger, he's just like just all hail. Notice me, senpai, Dr. Greger. But, I think Dr. Neil Barnard is just so cool. Like he's like he's like the smooth operator, the way he delivers his message. He's like, he's pretty easy on the eyes for the ladies. And he's super articulate and smart and just like calm and always says the right thing at the right time. So I don't know.
Garth Davis?
Yeah, and then there's Dr. Garth Davis, who's the man. He's a family man. He's does tons of operations on people's hearts to save their lives, or on their stomach to save their lives. Yeah. So I like all of them. I couldn't tell you. Yeah. So do you know any gay vegan fitness people? I have. I follow a couple. I didn't know that they were, but I've come to learn this about them. Vegan Gym Rat. That's the one I'm thinking of. Go follow him. He's got just the most incredible abs. Shout out to that guy. Teach me your secrets. And he knows how to move his body. That's all I know about him. But I think that's about all I know. But he's awesome. Hope I didn't just out him. Hey, Liz Yebra, I think I saw this question further up, so I'll answer it here. What do you think about coconut water? I think that it's, I think you're just as good having some water, which I should have because I haven't had a drink since I started this, and like some fruit, than you are having coconut water. But if you like it, I don't think it's a terrible thing. But I don't know. It's not something that I buy all that much. It's usually pasteurized and, just not something that I need to be spending my money on. Funny story, though, when I started dating No, it's fine. They'll hear this story. It's not that bad.
It's not bad. But
Crystal had to have coconut water and green tea, and she would like make this like perfect concoction of it. She had to have it all the time. And like when we started dating, I was like, oh my God. Like constant coconut water
had to
consumption.
Go and, restock and stuff.
I'm like, this is gonna make me broke. I didn't think this was gonna work out. And then all of us, like one day she just stopped, and then never again. And now even when I have coconut water, she doesn't want it. So, anyways.
Yeah, you can always have too much of a good thing. That's for damn.
Yeah, so really cool. Yes, the Thenex app for calisthenics. Someone, Royce Ochoa, sick name. Holy, Thenex app for specific body workout, push, pull, legs, shoulders. Yeah, he recommends the Thenex app. I like that guy too. Yeah. Thenex. Everyone's always like, you should collab with Chris Haria, and it's that guy doesn't know who I am. Good guy though, got a great physique. I'd love to work out with him. It'd be really fun. So do you have any tips for dental health? Yeah, my teeth always look nice, like on camera. Like, let me tell you, they're not as good as they look or white as they look when I'm on camera. I think that like the white balance.
No, they look good.
It's nice.
Yeah, they're fine.
Is good to me. But tips, yeah. So obviously, like brushing longer, not harder. That's a really good thing that I was told when I was younger, and I've always remembered it. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not a sexual
Well, I brush my
innuendo.
teeth like I gnar my
Oh, is that why you're
toothbrushes.
laughing? I thought because okay. Never mind. Yeah, Crystal, she like first time she uses her toothbrushes, they're just bristles are messed up. But yeah, brush for longer, not harder, because you want to protect your gums. Like flossing, obviously, you got to do that. I don't do it enough, but I know it's key. And yeah, and then rinsing your mouth a lot. A lot of people are into the oil pulling, but if you guys watch some of Dr. Greger's Nutrition Facts videos from a little while ago, you can get very similar results, if not even more safely, by just rinsing with water for the same amount of time. So that's something to think about. But yeah, rinsing seems to like get rid of some of the bacteria, but also take some of the what's that hard stuff on your teeth called?
Enamel?
Not enamel. The stuff you want to get off of there.
Oh, plaque.
Get the plaque off the teeth. So, any tips for boosting ADL cholesterol? Thank you for the amazing content.
There's no. I don't know if they meant LDL.
Yeah, I just looked over because I'm like, is Crystal looking that up right now? I have to call a lifeline on this one because I've never heard. Can I use a lifeline? I've never heard of ADL cholesterol. I think you must mean which letter is close to A? H or L?
No, there isn't anyone that's close to H or L.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you would want to boost your good cholesterol, right? You would want to boost your HDL. Healthy fats and avoiding like saturated fats, I think would be the best way to do it. I don't know what else to tell you. If you, appreciate this, the super chat. So just increase your healthy fats. Lots of flaxseed. That's been shown to really help to put your cholesterol into good proportions. Thanks for the super chat. All right. Can you take too much B12? I have a supplement that is like 2,000% of B12. What?
You're just like yelling about.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why. Like I had to
You
make.
just got really intense.
I had to make Graham Mule.
Oh, Graham, yeah.
Too aggressive on that question. Can you take too much B12? I have a supplement that has like 2,000% of B12. Yeah, that's how they are because we don't absorb all of it that we take. But granted, that's probably a lot more than what we need. I don't think. I'm sure there is an upper limit to B12, but I don't think you're going to take it by having 2,000% every day. But when I have it, I only take a fraction of that dose, maybe 500% of my RDI. So I would take like a quarter of that. And I'll give you guys a quick heads up. If you're taking high amounts of B12 and you start getting acne, it could be related to the B12. And it's not that you want to stop taking the B12, maybe just reduce the amount that you're taking. But it happens to me and it's happened to other people. And there is some science behind it. If you guys search on PubMed, B12 acne, you can read a little article on it. But it actually like changes the bacteria on your skin and makes it more susceptible to breakouts. So it sucks, but it happens to me. I notice it as soon as I go hard on that 2,000%, like, RDI B12 for maybe a week consistently, boom, I just break out like crazy afterwards. So kind of frustrating. Okay. Is there such a thing as too much fruit? I consume 200 grams of sugar a day from fruit, I'm guessing. I probably get around that much as well some days, between 200 and 250 grams of sugar a day from fruit. I don't think there's any reason to limit your fruit sugar intake. Yeah, I said
Healthiest food out there.
I said it.
How come you don't put oats in your smoothies?
Okay.
Jojo wants to know.
Jojo wants to know why I don't put oats in my smoothies. I don't know. For me, it's like that just seems like a bad food combination. But if it works good for you, do it. I know some people put like white beans in their smoothie. And for me, I think that would just like tear up my guts and give me gas. But if you can handle it, then go ahead. I don't, because my smoothies are already really thick and I don't feel like I'm missing anything from them anyways. If I was trying to bulk, I would probably, I might add some peanut butter or something like that to it. But I just don't think about it. I add flax seeds and it kind of like thickens it up anyways. And I feel like oats would just make it like cement. Do you think it's convenient that your surname is nutrition when your channel is all about nutrition, Simnett? Yeah. It was just, that was just
Amazing.
how I was. Like my parents' last name was Nutrition and it was just handed down to me. No, that's, I wish we talked about changing the channel name few months ago now, maybe 6 months ago or something, because I wanted something, either just my name or something that was like sexy, like, like hanging in the trees,
Yeah.
nutrition or something. But, this is just what we kept it as. And it started out because of my nutrition consulting services to be kind of plain and a little bit like clinical, I guess. And we just went with it. So yeah, that's why my name is that. Is a multivitamin better than using B12 supplements? So no, I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of multivitamins in general. And as far as the B12 in there, you probably wouldn't be getting quite as much. And I like to take the sublingual B12 to have it absorb in my mouth underneath my tongue. So if you're taking a multivitamin, you're just swallowing it and then hoping that it binds to the intrinsic factor in your stomach and gets, transferred through your intestine to your colon where it's absorbed. So I like the liquid myself, but I would say that a multivitamin with B12 is better than no B12 at all. Okay. Wow, I'm not educated on that one. Hello from France. Yep, you inspire people all around the world. Many thanks to you too. Awesome, thank you. Hey, from Mexico. Crystal, get in there. Derek, what about vitamin K2 as a vegan? It has worried me. You got to go back and watch the start of this because we talked about it. You can search it. There's lots of information out there. Dr. Greger has some videos on it. Not to worry about K2. Can you describe how you got into electrical work back in the day? And would you recommend it to people? Boy, we've got someone who is so keen. That's amazing that you remember that I did some electrical work in my past. So yeah, I've had a lifetime of careers in my young life, and I graduated college, and I graduated with a diploma in public relations. Didn't really like it. So I got a job at a skateboard shop. And my parents were not that happy with me. And I was just kind of buying my time, figuring out what I wanted to do. I couldn't figure it out. I knew I didn't want to be this PR professional. And somebody came into the skate shop one day and was like, hey, why aren't you doing anything else with your life? And I said, because this is what I want to be doing right now. And he said, hey, I have an electrical company. Would you want to come work for me? You seem like you're pretty smart and you clearly know how to work with tools. Because I was putting a skateboard together. I mean, it's pretty simple. But so I said, yeah, I want to make some money and I want to try a skill like that. So I did that. That's how I got into it. Someone just asked me. So yeah, it's pretty cool how it all happened. And I'm glad I did because I have that skill now and I could wire up maybe not a whole house, but if I had a garage or a shed or I wanted to add a plug in the wall or a light up in the ceiling, I could do all that stuff now. It's really neat.
There's been a few questions about that.
So people want to know if fruitarianism is a sustainable diet. Well, it is because there's people that eat a fruitarian diet and they're killing it. Yeah,
still alive.
Yeah, Mike Arnstein, he eats a fruitarian diet and he's doing well. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but there are.
People,
a lot of you guys. I follow a lot of people on Instagram. I chat with you guys, and a lot of you guys eat a fruit-based diet. So I think that it is a sustainable diet, but it depends on what fruitarianism means. Are we having greens? Are we having any nuts in that diet at all? I'm not too sure, but I know that there's a lot of people that have followed that sort of Dr. Doug Graham 80-10-10 camp for a long time and do really well. Chris Kendall, he's another one. He's a skateboarder, vegan activist guy, and he's freaking awesome. He's been fruit-based for a long time, and he's killing it, and strong and athletic and everything. So yeah, I would say, can you rap?
Yo. Let's get a beat on.
No, you know what? If I'm if I can freestyle, if I have the right beat.
Oh yeah,
and,
sure.
And my mind's working right. And I'm and I'm feeling sharp, then probably, but no, not really.
You took your rosemary oil, so you're
exactly.
Your brain's all making the connections.
Joe A says farts, they suck. Any tips? Actually, they blow. No, sorry. They suck. Any tips for gas and bloating for vegans? Also, sulfur smell help. That's not good. But it happens. Like there was definitely, my digestion has gone through so many different phases for a little while. I thought I had like a parasite or something because my digestion was so bad. We couldn't figure it out. And it was just like stress and me always eating on the run. That was one of the things that caused a lot of indigestion and gas and bloating. Was like, me eating at work when I only had like 15 minutes, just getting it down, and then, driving to work and I'm eating in traffic and that sort of thing. So, definitely you want to be calm when you eat. That can really help. Take a couple deep breaths, but then other things, chew your food really well, and then learn what foods work and don't work with you. Like over time, your gut bacteria will change and be able to deal with certain foods better than maybe they do now. But I think,
like for you, garlic.
Yeah. So here's one.
Garlic,
here's one.
Not good for this guy.
I love the taste of garlic, but we figured out, and garlic powder is bad, but also garlic is really gas promoting for me, and Crystal as well. You're not getting out of this without any like.
Okay, but it's so worse. It's so much worse for you.
And it really does, and really not just from that meal, but for like days afterwards, it really messes me up and gas bad. And I'll eat another meal that I'm like, hey, I know I always do well on like white rice and peas. Like that's kind of my go-to when my digestion's all buggered, and I'll get I'll have pains from that, and it's from the garlic the night before. So maybe sometimes an elimination diet's really helpful with the gas and bloating. You just try to get your diet down to like the most simple things, and then start reintroducing stuff. Make sure your stomach acid's nice and high. So like lemon water in the morning can help. If you've ever heard of digestive bitters, you could try that in a little bit of water before your meals. That helps to raise our stomach acid. Our food will break down better, then it won't ferment in our guts, which is probably what's happening. So low stomach acid is the reason for many people's digestive problems. So if you want to look more into it, search online. There's certain tests that you could do to see if you have low stomach acid. Any other good questions?
Oh, there's a ton.
Will this be a video later so I can watch it back? Yes, this will be a video later so you can watch it back, I hope. Okay. Oh, cool. So Dino, Derek, you said in a previous vid that Crystal was able to fix her scoliosis. I was told by doctors that it is permanent and can only be controlled with exercise. Any tips? Perhaps a video on it. Yeah, so I'm not educated enough to do a video on it, but Crystal was never diagnosed with scoliosis. No, however, when we we've had people that have a medical background, like Caitlin, she was there, and it was clear her back was like quite crooked, and she was shorter, and she straightened it out and got taller. So we know that it's worked for her. We actually watched a show not too long ago that was on. The girl was, she had scoliosis, and then she was able to do exercises, and it helped her rather than basically the other alternative was surgery. Yeah. So I did yoga. So basically just like yoga kind of stretches that helped. I just typed in like scoliosis exercises, and it kind of led me to yoga, and then I became obsessed with yoga. But her, if you're diagnosed with scoliosis, I can't remember what it was called, but this girl that we watched actually went to like a treatment facility and, doing a bunch of very specific exercises that was for her scoliosis because she had quite a bit of a curvature, and it really, did well. So yeah, I think you can. It depends on how bad it is, and maybe the cause of it, and how hard you're willing to work. Crystal wasn't like debilitated by it. It was just probably from poor posture. I was working at a job where I was on a computer a lot, so that's probably what it was from. Cool. So David Siebert gives us a super chat question. Thank you. Thoughts you say it every time. Thoughts on? I don't know. I think you're supposed to. Thoughts on intermittent fasting and the vegan diet. Thank you for all your comments. So my thoughts on intermittent fasting and the vegan diet. Yeah, I think the intermittent fasting is not the holy grail. I think it is another tool in your toolbox, just like exercise and jogging, just like eating healthy, just like lemon water, just like staying hydrated with regular water. It's another tool. So I think that it can be really helpful to create some like healthy parameters around eating, but it can also be damaging if you don't need any more sort of parameters around your eating. So if you have any sort of disordered eating or whatever, I wouldn't recommend it for you. But for me, I have the opposite problem where it's like after dinner, I'm just like in the cupboards and like opening the fridge like 5 times to see if like the peanut butter is still there. And so for me, it's like if I finish dinner and I say I'm not eating anything after dinner, I know I go to bed feeling good. I wake up feeling great. And but if I just start eating late at night, I don't feel great in the morning, and then it sets my whole day back. I sleep in, I don't feel good, I don't work out hard. So that's why it works for me. But if you struggle with it, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah. So, man, this has gone on. So if it's gone on for 50 minutes, I guess we'll go for another 5 or 10 minutes. We were only going to do this for 30 because I was like, I can't imagine people would want to watch me for this long. But you guys have stuck around. This is amazing. It's been really fun. Plant protein enzymes for the win, says Working Coffee. Yeah, so you can buy enzymes from a supplement store. There's there's a brand that I like, but I don't know if you guys are going to have it where you live. It's by Flora. It's called Immediate Relief, and they're great plant enzymes, but you don't want to become reliant on them. You want your body to be able to make everything that it can in order to digest your food. But if you're not digesting your food properly, then you might not be getting those nutrients. So it can actually like help to kickstart all that. So yeah, some plant digestive enzymes can help. What are your thoughts on vegan cheeses, says Ivan Martinez. My thoughts are that they're generally not that healthy for you, but as like a little addition on top of some healthy vegan food, by all means, go for it. I don't see a problem with it. But yeah, I don't eat it a ton. Whenever I think about it, I'm just like, my food will be just as good without it. So I don't buy it too much.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's cool. So Adam Waddington. Thoughts on intuitive eating versus if it fits your macros versus calories. So intuitive eating really only works if your intuition's good.
No, that's what we do. We're intuitive eaters.
Yeah, but I mean, but you have to have some sort of education and not education, but you have to be knowledgeable and you have to be realistic with your body, because a lot of people say, well, my body is craving McDonald's, so I'm going to have it. But it's like, no, intuitive eating doesn't work that way. And I don't really have a definition like for how it does work, but I know that it works for me. And the way that I do it is just like I just increase my intake of like raw fruits and vegetables, and also steamed fruits and vegetables, things that are generally lower in calories. I have more of that on my plate and less of the stuff that's higher in calories, like the rice and beans and lentils and that sort of thing. But you got to still be eating those. So I just changed the ratios a little bit, and I put the peanut butter like further back into the fridge because that's a real big one for me. And then if it fits your macros, yeah, I don't know. For that one, it's like, especially with a vegan diet, usually the macros are really hard to hit on a vegan diet. So people are usually just struggling with it, trying like, how do I get this much more protein in throughout the day? And it's like, for me, not worth it. And then what was the other one? If it fits your macros?
It just said /calories.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. So some people need that like really regimented if it fits your macros, but you got to be thinking about the quality of the food you're eating as well, not just hitting this certain macronutrient.
Depends on I think it depends on your goals as well.
Yeah.
If you're a bodybuilder, like you're prepping for like a bodybuilding show, or like maybe you have different goals in mind, then maybe something like that would help. But for the most part, I think for most people, intuitive eating are just kind of going with the flow.
Cool.
Works the best.
So Lisa asks, Derek, do you ever get food stuck in your beard?
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not bad. Yesterday
my mustache a tiny bit sometimes because I forget, but it still feels like it's like new. Like I only like I still feel like I've only had it for like I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with it. So I often forget that I have it, and yeah, you got to check. But it's not like I don't have like a really long one.
It's really nice. It's very nicely maintained.
Well, it's pretty patchy, but I do what I can. It beats shaving because my skin's so sensitive. I get lots of like bumps, and then when I shave, that happens on my face. So now this way, I just cover it up with hair, and everybody's happy. Hey, Dan B, any ambitions on selling T-shirts and or your own ropes bands or dip bars? Cool. So yeah, T-shirts for sure. We're working on some right now. And we'll show you guys the graphics. And if you guys are in the Facebook group, you guys can kind of like vote on which ones you like. Definitely talking about t-shirts, maybe some hats like these, like my 5-panel hats that I always wear. Something like that. It'd be hard to find one that I like, but we'll try. And then we'll see where we go from there. But as far as like the equipment goes, probably not. I do have a friend that owns like a rope company, and he wanted to like get into like selling like battle ropes with me.
That was cool.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a side hustle for me right now. We'll see. If this YouTube thing really slows down, then I might start selling battle ropes though. Crystal's pointing out the questions she wants me to answer.
I'm just trying to point to one.
Yeah, that's good. Kobe Kinnear, what are your thoughts on gluten in your daily dietary choices? I have found a lot of studies saying all people get inflammation from gluten consumption. Yeah, the information on gluten has got to be the murkiest out there, the murkiest and stickiest information, just as it would be for gluten. I don't know. In school, we learned a lot about it. We learned that like it's not good for anybody in some classes. In other classes, we learned that it was okay. It's hard. I know. I don't know. I try to keep up with the research on it, and it's really like it seems all over the place. But I think for most people, I think it's probably fine.
It depends though, because if it's non-organic, it can be sprayed with pesticides, which is glyphosate, I believe. Glyphosate, and then that really screws with the guts, the gut flora and stuff like that. So is it really like gluten, or like gluten can for wheat, for example? Is it really like wheat that's a big problem, or is it because all of those things are being sprayed with these pesticides that are the problem? I think the pesticides are the problem because humans have had like gluten-containing grains for years and years, hundreds of years, and it's all been really good and healthy and stuff. But then it's like this thing is introduced, and then all these people have inflammation and all these issues. So is it the grain, or is it what's being put on it? That's kind of what.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think ancient grains, fermented like breads as well, like sourdough, those are going to be a lot easier on people's guts. Yeah, the gluten one's a tough one. I've been on and off the gluten for a little while. And you know what's funny is that I notice, plug your ears if you don't want to hear anything about my poops, but my poops are more well-formed when I have gluten in my diet. When I don't, they're much like, I don't know how to describe it. Just that. They're more like this. They're more like this with gluten, more like that without it. I don't know if it's a good thing. I'm just making observations. Isaac Hayes, really generous donation. Thank you. And a question. I'm thinking about switching degrees to nutrition. What is it like studying nutrition as a vegan? I'm a bit worried about having to work with or suggest animal products. Love your work, man. Yeah, this is a good question. I like this. So this is probably going to be the last question that I answer because it's such a good one. I would love to keep going all day on this. Okay, maybe we'll take another one. But this one I really like. Because it's something that is definitely like would be on your mind. So that's when I was in school, there was a lot of times where they would be supportive of veganism, and then other times where they would say, okay, like the clients that you're going to get are going to be, if they're vegan, they're going to have all these deficiencies. And this is, they might be depressed because they're not getting the right amount of fats in, and they're going to be protein deficient and things that I just was kind of like, no, this isn't really how it is. And sometimes I would argue it in class, and sometimes I wouldn't because, the teachers are much more educated than me. And I was just, just there to observe and to listen and to learn, although I did know some things myself. So you just got to absorb what you can and just deflect the others, what you don't believe and what you don't think is right. Yeah, it's tough. My school wasn't funded by any sort of meat or dairy or anything like that. It's privately funded school. So it wasn't funded by any industry. So we didn't have anything like that going on, which was really good. And it was a holistic nutrition school. So everything was very plant oriented, but it was still all very much about fish oils for omegas and healthy, chicken is better than, free range is better than non-free range. Chicken is better than beef, and still that sort of old fashioned rhetoric. But for the most part, what became difficult was afterwards when I got a job. And that's probably what you're thinking as well. So that's why I'm doing what I do now, because I don't have a boss and I promote and recommend all the, whatever I want. Nobody's telling me what to promote or what not to recommend. And when I started working in a supplement store just after I graduated, or while I was still graduating, there was many times where I had to, people would come in and they say, hey, I want the best quality whey supplement that you have, or I want the best quality krill oil that you have. And of course, you know, I'm not there to just convince people to go vegan all the time. Of course, I would always like try a little bit, like, hey, have you thought of increasing like your omega-3s from like flax and chia? Maybe you don't need the krill oil, and, you know, and then kind of read how the situation was. But that it did make it difficult. And some people, you know, with the whey protein and stuff, guys were really, you know, hell-bent on having just that. So I'd have to, you know, go and pick, okay, this is the best quality, like, you know, powdered whey. So, yeah, it's tough. It really depends on what you do with it, you know, and how much you have to deal with sort of like the animal products. But if you're doing your own thing and you have your own practice, then you don't have to worry about it. And that's why I started the YouTube channel, was because I wanted people to know what they were getting into when they came to me. I didn't want people to come to me being like, hey, I heard you're a nutritionist. I want to learn how to prepare all the best meats, you know, the healthiest way. I want people to know, like, no, I'm not into that. And, you know, that wouldn't be the guy to go to for that. So that's kind of why I started it. You got a lot of answers there, but hopefully that helps you. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Good question. Should we take another one? Oh, we got Simonius asks, love you both. Coconut milk thoughts, example in curries. Yeah, so Dr. Greger's done some videos on saturated fat and coconut milk, and if it's healthy and if it isn't. And the saturated fat in coconut milk isn't great for us. But if you're going to have it in like curry, you know, once every 2 weeks, you know, or whatever, I don't think it's going to be all that harmful for your health. I think you should enjoy it. But yeah, you can watch those videos if you want yourself. They're only a couple months back, I think, now. But yeah, type in coconut milk nutrition facts, see what Dr. Greger says on it. There's actually an island that he talks about where they got a lot of their calories from coconuts, and talks about the rates of like heart disease and stuff on that island. So it's actually a pretty cool video. So yeah, I don't have it all that much. It's also very, very dense in calories. Like if you make a curry with just like, I don't know, a plain almond milk or something like that, and then you look at it with coconut milk is so high in calories. Not that calories are a bad thing, but just be mindful of it. So sometimes when I'm looking at that, I'm like, I could eat this much with coconut oil, and it would be like 700 coconut milk. It would be 700 calories, or I could have like this much without it. So, you know, so depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Someone asked if I would still date you if you were skinny.
I am skinny. So she did, because when we met, I was...
Yeah, Derek was not muscly like this at all. It's actually pretty crazy that I've seen you basically just transform your body. But yeah, no, it didn't look like this at all. I was still very much attracted to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really interesting. Yeah.
It's what's in here that counts.
So yes, I would. Or if he lost all his gains, I'd still be here.
Oh man. Kyle Van Schlick, I'm getting so jacked. I went vegan for 3 months now. Thank you guys so much. That's amazing. Yay. Great first live stream, guys. Thank you. Can you have a cholesterol deficiency? Not for most people. If you have some sort of genetic condition, then I think you can. But I haven't had any cholesterol in 7 or 8 years now, and I don't have a deficiency in it. So
someone said not to angle it so it's half my face. This was Derek's live stream, and I'm just here. I wasn't going to be part of it, but I guess if you guys are okay with it, I'll just be in here. But that's why half my face has been cut off, because I'm kind of trying to be like in the background.
So Scott McGillior asks, whatever happened to your workout book from your earlier Q&As? Yeah, I mentioned that I was going to be coming out with a ebook for like calisthenics, and I've worked on it a lot. I've tried to come up with it, and it's really hard for me because I want to give you guys what worked for me, but I also want to make it, you know, doable for people who are just beginning. And then I want to help people like progress through so that they can get to, you know, to beyond where I am. So it's really hard. It's a really, really big span. I'm trying to decide if I want to break it up into like multiple books, you know, how I'm going to do that. Or if it's like, you have to be at this level, you know, in order to buy it. You have to be able to do 10 pull-ups. You have to be able to do this in order to, you know, to get value out of this ebook. I don't know how it's going to be yet. I don't want it to be like that though. I want it to be, attainable for people who are just starting out. So I might have to create a couple, might be like a beginner to intermediate one and then more like advanced. We'll see. But thanks for the question. I'm glad that you remembered that. That's really cool.
Someone asked, where'd you get the hoodie? This is from Living Engine.
Yeah, this is
livingengine.com.
Yep. They have lots of cool stuff, sort of like, yeah, just like that. Kind of. This is I like how this one fits, so that's why I wear it quite a bit. It fits me good. It's just like t-shirt material. It's so light.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh goodness, I don't know.
Oh wow, Isaac.
No.
Oh, okay, we already got them. Like Isaac.
It's all jumping around. The chat jumps around.
Yeah, hopefully this is smoother like next time. I think we did okay this time, but we're learning as we go. Crystal helped me set this one up, so thank you so much for that. So yeah, we're probably going to end it here because I think we've covered a lot of topics. It's just over an hour long. I don't want to take up too much internet space with my ramblings. But hey, I appreciate you guys joining us today. This has been really, really fun.
So fun.
Yeah, definitely like going to do this again. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all this. Anything to say, Crystal?
Thanks for tuning in.
Nice.
It's been really fun, and it's crazy to see all the questions. Like man, it would just be hours to try to answer them all. But if you guys like this, it was actually really easy to do. So if you guys like this, we could make this like something weekly where Derek does like a weekly live or something like that. Yeah. That would be really fun, and it's really engaging, and now we know kind of how to set it up. So yeah. And I like interacting with you guys. I just wish the camera wasn't looking at me. I wish it would just like cycle through like your webcams. How cool would that be? It'd kind of be creepy, but yeah. Yeah, that would be creepy. Like, someone's just like sitting there, just like picking their nose or whatever. Probably a couple naked people. Anyways, where are we getting off track? That's crazy. So what we'll do is next time, we did this one at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is that's the time it is for us. But we know that a lot of people in Europe, or like Derek said earlier, like halfway across the world, it's like 1 or 2 a.m. where you guys are. And we really apologize. We didn't really think of that. We kind of just thought of North America because we're just like, I guess, selfish like that. Just think of ourselves. So we'll try to do it earlier so everyone in those countries can tune in as well. I don't know what times would be bet, like 9 a.m. Pacific. And early in the morning. So earlier in the morning. So we'll try to do something earlier next time. Yeah. So, yeah, want to include everyone. Yeah, including Coco. He wanted to come say goodbye, even though he's barely conscious. Cat life just, oh, he's so sweet. For these cats, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate everything. You guys are great. He looks like he's drugged or something. It's so cute. He's so sleepy. I'll see you guys soon. I will have the rest of that video. I don't know if you guys watched it. The first half of my day I put up the morning. I'm going to be putting up the afternoon and the evening. Appreciate you guys. Bye. You guys are the best.